In Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and others, Masahiro Sakurai and his team have been amazing at creating these characters that are so true to the games from which they come. And is this more true in any game other than Ultimate? Shulk in Super Smash Bros. Has a lot of his moves based off of his original game, and a lot that aren't too, so I'm going to show you which ones are. The first move is Backslash, Shulk's quintessential move. He gets Backslash very early on in Xenoblade Chronicles, and it's one of his memeiest moves in Super Smash Bros., doing extra damage when you hit an opponent in the back. The animation is very similar to the one in Xenoblade Chronicles. In Ultimate, Backslash was buffed so that it can grab the ledge, which actually makes it a somewhat useful move when in Smash 4 it was almost entirely useless, except for really strong reads, so now at least it has some kind of use. And in Xenoblade Chronicles, you'll see it does twice the amount of damage when hitting an opponent in the back, and it's a lot easier to hit an opponent in the back in Xenoblade because you can have someone else take the aggro while you hit the opponents in the back and do a lot of damage with Backslash. The next move I want to cover is Air Slash, which in Smash Bros. Is a 2-hit attack where Shulk jumps up into the air swinging the Monado and then gets a second swing which raises him just a little bit more in the air. This is a good kill move, it's decently fast for an option for Shulk, especially out of shield, and it's very powerful and it's probably one of my favorite moves in the whole game. In Xenoblade Chronicles, it's quite a bit different. Obviously it doesn't raise him nearly as high, he just jumps as high as maybe a normal human would jump, and then he slashes the sword once, so there's no rising attack either. It also inflicts slow on an opponent hit from the side, but you can't hit opponents in the side in Smash Bros., so I'm not surprised that that part of the move wasn't carried over. The last special move we're going to talk about is Vision, Shulk's counter, which lasts for a very long time, keeping hit detection up in Super Smash Bros., and has two variations where you can either hit them in front of Shulk or behind Shulk, and the second variation, where you hold forward and hit behind Shulk, is the much stronger version. In Xenoblade Chronicles, it's different because it's not a traditional fighting game counter, obviously. It shows you what move the opponent is going to use, so long as it is a strong move that is likely to do lots of damage to you or someone in the party. And then it gives you an opportunity to warn your party member and use one of their arts for free, when normally you'd have to wait for their cooldown to run out, or it lets whoever you're controlling do something to change the future, so that that big move doesn't do the crazy damage. The next move I want to talk about is Forward Tilt, and while a lot of Shulk's normals are not from Xenoblade Chronicles because they would be rather hard to translate over and still have a good fun moveset for him, Forward Tilt it's one of his attacks from his auto attack chain in Xenoblade Chronicles, because in Xenoblade Chronicles all you have to do is stand near an opponent and Shulk will swing the Monado at them automatically, and he has a chain of a few attacks, and Forward Tilt is one of them, and he just flimsily swings the sword at them, and that's kind of how it's shown in Smash Bros. As well. It's not the determined strokes of a professional swordsman, it's just Shulk swinging that Monado the way he knows how. Onto our first and only smash attack, Shulk's forward smash is definitely Slit Edge from Xenoblade Chronicles. It's extremely powerful in Smash Bros, and it's accentuated by the fact that Shulk usually has the Monado deactivated while on his back, which is not accurate at all to Xenoblade Chronicles, but in his forward smash, it makes the part where the blue light comes out and activates extremely powerful sounding and able to do a lot of knockback, and it's very cool looking. It is different from Xenoblade Chronicles in the way that with Slit Edge, he just thrusts the sword forward while it's activated. He doesn't activate it while it's hitting the opponent. As cool as that is, it makes more sense to always have the Monado activated. And so that's how it is in the original game. It also lowers the opponent's defense if you hit them in the side with Slit Edge, which of course is not shown in Smash Bros. I don't know if it counts as a move, but I just wanted to quickly say that Shulk's jump is pretty accurate to how he jumps in Xenoblade Chronicles. It looks kind of funny, like a little bunny hop, but that's what he does. It's It's a cute little bunny hop. What do you want me to say? He just jumps around. Now I want to move on to the first of the Monado arts. Buster art is shown in Smash Bros. And in Xenoblade Chronicles. In Smash Bros., it turns the Monado purpley, which is not at all accurate to the original game, but we'll forgive it, and it increases his damage output as well as the amount of damage that he takes, which is not the same as Xenoblade Chronicles. In Xenoblade Chronicles, Buster art is an attack rather than a buff, where the Monado's light is elongated and able to hit multiple enemies with a very strong attack that does more damage to mechon enemies, or robotic enemies if you haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles. Speed art is another art shown in both games. In Smash Bros., it makes Shulk extremely speedy, one of the fastest characters in the game, bar none. He goes really far. He can recover from really far horizontally, not vertically, because it also increases his gravity. But that's alright, because Shulk moves so fast, he becomes extremely strong in neutral in Smash Bros., and it's a very, very good art. It's also very good in Xenoblade Chronicles because it increases one's agility, and while it doesn't actually make Shulk run around faster or swing the Monado faster, it increases his hit and evasion to insanely high levels, where Shulk will dodge almost anything if he's the same level as the opponent, or whoever he buffs, because he can buff his allies with Monado speed as well. The last art that is represented in Smash is shield art. Now this art in Smash makes Shulk incredibly heavy. It increases his shield's health so that it's very, very hard to break Shulk's shield in Shield, and it decreases any knockback that he takes. In Xenoblade Chronicles, it's far less useful, honestly. It's very good at one thing. When an enemy uses a talent art, which is like its special art, you know, it's one super move. If shield is of a high enough level, it can block a talent art, which is one of the things that vision is good for. If a vision tells that an opponent's about to use a talent art, Shulk can block it for his entire party using shield. So it's strong in that way, but not as strong as it is in Smash Bros. Of course, there are two more arts in Smash Bros., Smash and Jump, but those do not exist in the source material. There is no Smash art or Jump art in Xenoblade Chronicles, and there are other arts like Monado Purge or Monado Enchant, which are not shown in Smash Bros. Because they wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, honestly. Or they would change up Shulk as a character a lot, and I think having Smash and Jump makes him a lot more fun in Smash Bros. Than he would be otherwise, so I'm glad that they made them up. As far as I can tell, none of Shulk's other moves have any real connection to Xenoblade Chronicles. You could maybe argue that his down tilt kind of looks like his slit edge silhouette as he does it, kind of, maybe, but not really. Not really at all, honestly. He swings the sword the whole other direction, so I'm gonna go with no. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I know I'm really happy that Sakurai puts this much work, and I think Shulk came out beautifully, especially in Ultimate, where he's a lot better than in 4. I hope you guys have a dandy day.